Welcome, everyone, to Nicola Valley Talk. I am your host, Tania Stewart, and tonight we have a very special, well, not just one guest, but two. I'm not going to tell who it is right now. I'm sure people are wondering and guessing. You probably have a good guess on who's here. But anyway, so welcome, everyone, to Nicola Valley Talk, a product of Experience Nicola Valley, featuring many amazing blogs written by many amazing bloggers who know a thing or two about living in a small community. Self-distancing in my home, in my kitchen. And here again, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, join us. I am your host, Tania Stewart, and helping promote the Nicola Valley and our sister town, Logan Lake, promoting nonprofit agencies, musicians, artists, tourism in our valley and our, like I said, our sister city or town, I guess, village. So tonight I want to welcome two very special people all the way from the North Pole, where it must be nice and cold, where they are getting ready for the biggest night of the year. So here, let us welcome Mr. and Mrs. Claus, Santa and Mrs. Claus. Hello.
Oh, ho, ho.
You know what, Santa? I'm a little nervous here, okay? So pardon me for being a little nervous because I'm kind of like starstruck, not only by you, but also having Mrs. Claus on also.
You'll do fine, dear.
Oh, thank you. And I just think, I hope I've been really good this year and not on the naughty list. I don't think I ever have. But
I don't know. I think I remember one time seeing your name kind of right at the edge there, but we'll have a look for a while and see where you're at.
Okay, well, let's get on. We got a few questions here, and I'm sure there's a lot of kiddies out there and grown-up kids who want to get to hear all about you two. So, starting with you, Santa, if I may, you're probably one of the most recognized and well-known people around the world. Could you share with our many listeners something that we may not know about you? Oop. Sorry.
Well, I'm really, really old. I know I don't look it. I don't look a day over 30, but I'm actually really, really old. Sometimes getting up and getting organized, it hurts. But you know what? It's all good because it's all about the spirit of Christmas. And I don't know, I've logged in so many miles over the years, I can't remember how many they are, but it's been fun. We've had some close calls with some, these high buildings, and before we had Rudolph, we didn't have anybody to guide us like we should have, and we had just about had a couple of accidents, which would have been a real disaster, but we made it. And the one thing that's always exciting for me is to know that Mrs. Claus is waiting at home with a cookie and a glass of milk when we're all done delivering presents.
Oh my, those cookies. And Mrs. Claus, I've heard from a little elf or two that you bake at least every 10 minutes or something cookies.
When you're trying to feed 90,000 plus all the reindeer, it just never ends. And I love cooking, and the elves love the cookies. And of course, it's really for Santa. But he has all the people with him to share them. So you have to do it all the time.
Well, no kidding, eh? And so, Mrs. Claus, being married to this man, this wonderful man, Santa, must be a total joy as well as very jolly most of the time. Could you share with us what a typical day looks like around the North Pole?
Oh my, that's a big question. Well, it's busy and it starts early and it goes late, but it's all fun and it's all joy and it's all just one thing at a time. Nobody expects everything done at once, though I do myself, of course, because my lists are long and we make them up early in the year so that everybody knows what they need to do and how fast they need to do it. So from early morning, the first thing we do is everybody must get a good breakfast. So that's big. And that's the only meal that there are no cookies involved. Right? That they have a nutritious breakfast. Because if you eat well in the morning, the day goes so much better. And then from there, it's whatever has to happen, like a normal house. Things change. There's elf school, there's reindeer school, there's those that are sick that need taken care of. There's the cookies to make all the time. And I do have a lot of help. The elves do help with that. There's certain elves that's just their job to make sure the cookies come out of the oven, not burnt, but cooked to perfection. Because Santa does not like burnt cookies. Though he will eat them because they're made with love.
Aw. And so there's no porridge cookies? Like
No porridge cookies. The old cookies are later in the day, and the winter snacks and all those. And then they can have them later, but not for breakfast. They get good quality food, yogurt, fruit, granola, eggs, bacon, sausage, pancakes. It changes every day. But it's all planned ahead. So everybody knows, and some like it and some don't. So some days they get what they want and some days they don't. But everybody's good about it. From there, it's
sorry.
that's good. And we go through.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry for cutting you off, Mrs. Claus. I got a little delay in my coming from Merritt, the Nicola Valley, to the North Pole. I seem to get a little bit of a delay there. Are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're a little behind us, but that's okay. We can live with that.
Okay, so Santa, what my grandson asked me what if I could ask you. He couldn't be here because he's got a cold. He wants to know what he can leave for you to eat when he comes when you come to his house. And does the magic ever stop?
No, well, if you look at my body, you'll know that I pretty much eat whatever. But I really, really like chocolate chip cookies with way too many chocolate chips. Those are the best. And of course, you have to have a glass of milk to wash that down.
Well, milk is good, right?
Milk is good. According to the boss, milk is good. And I'm going to tell you a little secret that she can't hear. When she feeds us the healthy breakfast in the morning, sometimes I sneak a cookie from the night before and I have it in my pocket, but don't tell her that because she'll be really mad.
And so with milk and cookies and chocolate chip being your favorite, and so throughout the year, I know without magic and Christmas is so special and everything, so I guess does the magic continue throughout the year, do you believe?
Oh, absolutely it does. The magic of Christmas is just, it's the love that it brings out in everybody. It makes everybody want to be happy, makes everybody want to do things for everybody else. It makes us all want to be together and have a good time and laugh and joke about all the stupid things we did during the year. And it's family time. For us, obviously, because it's Christmas, we don't get to do that, but our family time is right after Christmas is over. And we all sit down and we talk about the year and we go over about how good it was and all the crazy things that happened. And that's what keeps us all together as a group. Because without the teamwork of all the elves and Mrs. Claus and all the reindeer, this would never happen. Everybody has to work together.
For sure, I would suspect so. I mean, you can only do so much yourself, right? And well, let's put it, Mrs. Claus can only do so much herself too, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to admit something here, and it's terrible to do this live in front of everybody, but really, the bottom line of this whole program is that Mrs. Claus is in charge. I'm just the pretty face that gets to go out and run around at night and everybody is wonderful, but she is actually the brains behind the whole operation.
Aw, isn't that nice? So, Mrs. Claus, I heard through the, oh, and I guess I did mention this a little bit earlier, and again, I want to ask this again, is that I heard through the grapevine that you bake fresh cookies every 10 minutes. And is this true? Like, I mean, there must be 90, because there's how many elves again to feed?
There's 90,000 elves that are our family.
Wow.
I look after them all. And they help with the baking. I couldn't do it alone. You have to have the elves. And they have so much fun. Sometimes the room is more flour than the room. But we all work away, laugh lots, get it cleaned up, and back. Getting all the supplies for the cookies is a job in itself. There's special elves just to do that. And those elves do so much.
Oh, that is so nice. I'm glad. 90,000 elves. Wow. I can't even imagine that. But anyways, sorry?
We have had to have more than we used to because the population of the world is so much, and we don't want to miss any child anywhere or anyone that believes in the magic of Christmas. That's what Santa, that's what we're about. That's our family, and that's what we're about, is the magic of Christmas.
Yes. So everyone knows that you love cookies, Santa, and that you said that chocolate chip are your favorite. So what are your second favorite?
Oh, well, I think oatmeal cookies with raisins in them. And the only reason for that is that Mrs. Claus really doesn't like raisins. So I don't get them very often. And so that would probably be my second choice, oatmeal and raisin cookies.
Oh, I like oatmeal and raisin myself. I could eat them every day, that's for sure. So understanding that you must receive billions of letters around the world each year, and many letters that I presume are in different languages. So Santa, how many languages can you speak? And read, I guess.
Pretty well all of them. Yeah. But I have to be in the right environment. Like when I'm in Canada, I speak Canadian, eh? And if I'm in down south in the US, then I sound like the people down there. And if I'm over in Newfoundland, boy, she's a whole different world there, let me tell you. And so it's where the environment that you're in that brings the language out. So I'm not in Mexico, so I can't speak Spanish. But if I was in Mexico, I could, and I'd understand everybody there. That's the magic.
That is magic. So just quickly, which is the hardest language, do you think?
Oh, I think trying to understand the Newfoundlanders is probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Especially if you happen to run into one of them that's just come out of the bar, then they're really hard to understand. And the Irish too. If you go way down into the southern part of Ireland, oh yeah, they talk so fast. They're speaking when they're breathing in and breathing out.
Oh my, you're funny. Oh. Santa. Okay, so when I was a child, I used to always watch this cartoon, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right? So Santa, is it true that Frosty the Snowman lives at the North Pole? Also, is there really a Misfit Toy Island? And does the abominable snowman that suffered that toothache that chased Rudolph and his little buddies around, is he there also?
Oh, they're all there, and sometimes trying to keep them all in control, that's just a little bit of a chore. But Rudolph, and I shouldn't praise Rudolph more than any of the other reindeers because they all do a wonderful job. But because of his red nose, he gets to be the leader, and he has saved us from so many plane accidents when we're up flying around on Christmas Eve. I tried to talk to all the governments and get them to shut the flights down just on Christmas Eve so we'd be safe. But, that doesn't really work because people need to get home because they need to get with their families and have the fun. That's the magic of Christmas. And yeah, the abominable snowman, well, that's a whole other story. We'd need like 4 or 5 hours to go through all that and figure out what happened there. I have my theory, and Mrs. Claus has her theory, and sometimes we're not quite on the same page with this, so we don't really discuss it because it doesn't make us fight, but we kind of get a little edgy with each other.
Aw. And what about Misfit Island? The toys.
We try not to have too big of a Misfit Island because really we need all the toys that we can get, but mistakes get made and some of the toys get put together a little bit wrong. And, you have the little drummer boy that's supposed to be walking in a straight line and he's going round and round in a circle on one leg. And so, we don't have time to fix that. So we put it over on the Misfit Island, and we try to go over there early in the year and bring those toys out and repair them so that they're good because we need all the toys.
Oh, that is so nice. And I remember when my brother and I, when we were young and we were really close in age, I used to tease him relentlessly and say that his toys were all going to come from the Misfit Island. And I guess in that manner, he must have got them because they were all perfect again, like and new. So I guess, that's so nice.
Yeah, and when you were teasing your brother about that was the time when your name come very, very close to the edge of the naughty list. And if it wasn't for Mrs. Claus pleading on your part, there might have been little pieces of black coal happening that year.
Then I guess I shouldn't say any more then, right? Sorry, brother.
Not this close to Christmas. I wouldn't be saying too much.
Oh, well, that is so nice to know. And I know that many children out there will be very happy to know that those toys are looked after and taken care of and fixed up again, right? And and Rudolph. Oh, and thank goodness, speaking of Rudolph, last night here in Merritt, it was so foggy out. He would have been perfect for if Christmas was last night, right? With his shiny.
Oh, yeah. He works great in the fog, in the snow, in the rain. Yeah, it's just exactly what we need. It's perfect.
Yes, I love all of them. So Santa, could you, sorry about that. It is my understanding that you do not travel with your husband, Mrs. Claus, on Christmas Eve. And, but I do know that you traveled to our beautiful Nicola Valley using Santa's special Xmas magic dust. What stood out to you about our community and our downtown Merritt, or just anything that you could share with us?
Oh, that was so amazing. We had been looking at the blogs and reading about them, the experience in Nicola Valley, and I just casually mentioned that that's something that would interest me. And the elves were like, well, go then. So it was such a privilege, such an experience. And it was absolutely amazing. The town, the city is so welcoming. And there is so much to see and do that you couldn't. I just saw tiny glimpses. And what I saw, I was so happy. I met some amazing people.
And I heard that you like the you put your hand. Well, actually, I've seen that because I watched you. Whose hand was that?
I'm sorry, I don't know. There was many of them, and I did do a few, so I'm not sure which one it was. But it's something
Yeah.
that's an experience that everybody needs to do, because those stars were here in Merritt doing those handprints. We didn't go down to the States or to Vancouver or to Toronto to get those handprints made. They were here in the Nicola Valley in the years past when the music festival was on. And hopefully someday we'll be able to have a music festival back.
I hope so too, Mrs. Claus. I truly miss that, and I do know that one of our experienced Nicola Valley bloggers, Malvina White, her name is. She is our country blogger, and she is so good at it, and I'm sure she misses writing about the ones that would come here to Merritt and perform through the years.
It was such a big part of this Nicola Valley from what I learned. Yes, it was lovely.
Yes, and if anyone wants to read those blogs, they know where to go. Experience Nicola Valley bloggers, and look up Malvina White and read all about the country music stars. So, Santa, could you share?
I gotta tell you a story before you ask me this question, and this kind of makes me look a little stupid. But anyway, when we heard we were going to do this interview, I'm looking and I see this bee loggers, and I'm trying to figure out now, bee loggers, like, what is that? Like, these are guys that work in the bush that don't know how to run a power saw, or what's going on here? But anyway, Mrs. Claus figured it out and told me that it's not bee loggers, it's bloggers. So I finally got that all straightened out.
Bee loggers. Oh, that.
There's A loggers obviously too, and they're way better.
I think I got it. Is that like the drinking thing? A loggers?
I don't know. Can't go down that road.
Okay. So Santa, he's got quite the sense of humor there, your husband, doesn't he, Mrs. Claus?
Yes, and I love it.
Oh, yeah.
North Pole be a better place.
Yes, it does.
Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. I haven't felt this good in a long time.
Yeah. So Santa, could you share with our listeners what the experienced Nicola Valley bloggers and this talk show means to the community, and how, in your opinion, is it benefiting our local businesses, musicians, nonprofit agencies, tourism in Merritt, and in our sister town, Logan Lake?
Yeah, from what I've read of all the blogs, and I haven't had time to read them all because this is a bad time of year to be trying to do that. But I read quite a few, and I think the whole theory, for want of a better word, for this whole thing is absolutely amazing. It's the local people promoting the local attractions, and it's their own genuine writing, it's their own genuine feelings, and that's what makes it so believable. You can read ads in the paper about all kinds of stuff that some advertising agent has wrote, and they make it really shiny because they want the bigger bucks. But these are people that are doing this because they believe in all the local attractions in Merritt, and they believe that we have the best here, and you can tell that when you read those blogs.
And that is so true. And who better to tell them than the people who live and breathe and walk right in these communities?
Absolutely. That's why we're here telling you about the North Pole.
Oh, hey, that gives us an idea. But anyways, on to so we have, if you two wouldn't mind sticking around just for a couple more minutes, and we could do a couple of these questions. I call them flashcard questions, in case we have time at the end. They're just like half a minute answers, and either one of you, Mrs. Claus or Santa, you can answer them, or you could both answer them in half a minute. So Santa, does Santa Claus get any presents himself?
Well, I have the best present in the world, and I have it all day except for one night of the year. and that's Mrs. Claus.
Oh, that is so nice.
You couldn't want anything else in life. To wake up every morning and roll over and pull my beard out of my eyes and look at this happy, shiny face. Doesn't get any better than that.
Aw. Did you want to add anything?
See? I finally touched a nerve. Whoa.
So speaking of Mrs. Claus pulling the beard out of your mouth, how long is Santa Claus's beard?
Well, we have to trim it on occasion, but it's at least a foot, 12 inches at least.
Wow.
But if it grows longer, it's okay as long as it stays clean and white and shiny. But 12 inches, it's easy to handle.
Okay. And Santa, how do you fit down the chimneys?
Oh. Well, I wasn't going to show you this because it is part of the magic of Christmas, but right inside this little pouch, there's magic dust. And this is the magic dust that I used when Mrs. Claus went to Merritt to check out the beautiful city of Merritt. And we just sprinkled just a tiny little bit, and then she disappeared, and just poof, she was right in Merritt. So when I come to a house, I just take a little bit of this and I sprinkle it on the chimney, and the chimney doesn't get wider. It's just when I put it there and I touch the chimney, I get small enough to go right down inside. Poof, just like that.
Wow. Is that ever neat? And I guess that magic dust will never run out either, I guess.
It never has. You can keep using this, and it's always got the same amount in there. And I don't really know where it comes from, but I don't ask any questions because it works.
So if there's a fire, it helps save you from the fire too, from getting burnt and that.
Yeah, it does. And this suit has some fire retardant in it. And so really what happens when you come down the chimney, you stop the flow of oxygen from the bottom, so the fire does die right down. But we do need a little bit of magic dust to make sure that my shoes don't get burnt.
And I hope that you consider, like me, a part of your family too. I would love to be a part of the family.
Oh yeah, well everybody is part of the family at Christmas. It's not, we have a family that we work with all year with the elves and the reindeer and Mrs. Claus, but at Christmas time everybody becomes family. That's the magic of it all.
Aw. So Santa, you're going to be talking next week with children from all around the world, I guess you could say. And we want them to send their videos, their letters, or pictures to Santa Merritt 2020 at gmail.com. Do you have anything else to add to that before I let you go?
Yeah, please send in your pictures and videos. We need lots of videos because they're always fun to watch. Because you guys get to watch me on video, so I want to be able to see some of the kids on video. And yeah, we're excited. We've never done this before. The reason for this year is because we can't have Santa in the mall. And so we're trying to do this so the kids have a little excitement at Christmas time. And there's going to be a screen between Mrs. Claus and me, and the kids will be on that screen. And we'll have a photographer here from somewhere. I don't know, one of the elves. I hope they've figured out how to use the camera. They were taking some weird pictures the other day. But they'll be here, and they're going to take a picture of whoever it is on the screen between us, and you're going to get that picture.
So be one of the ones that sends it in. We want to hear from you.
Yes. Yes, for sure. And also, just to add to that before I let you go and I close for the night, is grandparents or parents, feel free to be on with your child in the video. Santa and Mrs. Claus welcome that. It would be great. More than, pardon?
We really want that to happen. Because that
Even
makes us feel safer. It's all Zoom, so, you know, the kids will be more relaxed when mom and dad are there. And then mom and dad will really know that they talked to Santa.
That's right. And maybe even a pet or two, if that makes a child feel even more comfortable.
Yeah, we're comfortable with anything. It's all about having fun.
Okay, well, that is great. So Santa, can you do your ho, ho, ho for us before I let you go?
Oh yeah, there's cookies here. I'm good after I do a ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas to everybody. Don't forget to send your videos and your letters in because we need to read them and see them. Ho, ho, ho!
Thank you, you two. Good night, and I'll talk to you soon.
Good night.
Oh, it wasn't that special now. I tell you, those people, Santa and Mrs. Claus, you feel like you've known them forever in a day, right? So again, I would like to thank you guys for joining. And oh, I'm sorry, May Ketter was shouting out to Santa, and Liz Terrell was also, so I apologize for not, I got so involved with Santa and Mrs. Claus there that I forgot to give a shout out to them from you. Okay, so I apologize. So again, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time here with Nicola Valley Talk. And next week, again, send your videos, pictures, Zoom, and or letters, but we prefer a video, and talk with Santa. Okay, and before I sign off, for your 4 hours, especially at this time of year when there's a lot of excess garbage and that, is remember the 4 R's: rethink, reuse, reduce, and recycle. And I will see you next week. Okay, bye.